Welcome back to some more Higurashi. What could go wrong with a little infatuation, maybe a little bit on the excessive side, especially when you start attacking family members. It's a great way to get people on board, really. Although considering how we know the story pans out with Satoshi and whatnot, what kind of damage is done behind the scenes? Does Shion's interest in him push him over the edge? Cause the interaction with, the rest of the family and the aunt? Honestly, it is kind of nice seeing the more of the events of what we've been told about kind of play out and unfold. Exactly how and what happens during that time is... I wonder how malleable is certain events... Are certain events locked? We've seen that the actions of the present kind of can flit and change all about. What about what we've been told of before? Who exactly is pulling the strings here? Who's making these predictions? Who knows what's going on? And how exactly is everyone involved? There's one way to find out, and that's to see more. So, get yourselves a drink. Are you ready? It doesn't matter if you're not. We're starting. After quite the display that she put up in the last episode, not surprised that she's somewhat depressed in bed. Okay, go on. Can't make obvious that she's in contact with her. He wanted to apologize. I mean, keeping tabs of everything that's going on, especially when you got someone else kind of masquerading in your shoes, would be somewhat difficult. When there's actions and occasions like that, do you want to know the full picture of what happened? If you were me on here, it's like, what happened yesterday at class? The fact you want to apologise. There's a side of me that says that just stay ignorant of the matter, because whatever happened, you probably don't want to hear about it. But also, to avoid any future conflict or issues, everything needs to be out in the open. And considering what we saw at the beginning with the head of the family and whatnot, does it reach a breaking point where there is no... Well, their relationship is irreparable? Or the curse just takes hold? There's quite a lot going on in Higurashi, and the fact that it doesn't... I've said it before, but the fact that it doesn't play like a usual storyline. And it's more just we're filling in the blanks in between all the bits that we know, so slowly. I think they were both acting a little out of it, one more than the other. He's apologising for attacking the family name and her along with it. So that's what the apology is for. Okay. Alright might be putting it to... Okay. And he's trying to hold it in as much as possible for her sake. Yeah, I was about, what kind of question is that? Play? Give her one good day away from everything, away from all of the worries and troubles that she's having? He needs to be elsewhere. The curse? Well, those who try to go against the village, those who try to leave the village, I mean, it's definitely one way to keep everyone kind of in place and content with not doing anything untoward. The curse will be after you if you try to leave as well. Well, that's not ominous at all. That's a sentence I hope to never have to hear. I'll leave blank to you. What does that mean? What are you going to do? What? What nice furnishings out here in the forest. Yeah, she might be having a bit too much fun here in the festival. And she looked so frail and meek at the back there. I think that was the point of that. Might take a little more than if it just... There we go. I was about to say, she knows more than she's letting on, so... she should know it doesn't just end. Ah, now that's a familiar voice. Much in the same vein as what we saw before with Keiichi and whatnot, but at least this time in this storyline, we know that a body is found afterwards. Nothing bothersome. He did not let up even after confirming things over. So smushed you can't even recognise. Wow. I mean, probably not much left of dental records when the teeth are scattered around a 20-metre radius. And the fact that he is poking his nose in pretty much everything when it comes to these kind of maybe curse-related victims. I suppose there has been no pushback or repercussions for him yet in any of the storylines, really. Well, why doesn't she get it for you? You can pay her back later. Oh, reserve it. Yeah, that works as well. Now you know that it won't be sold. Mm-hmm. Normal people. I don't think I've gone in and reserved something to come back and buy later. Ever. And there's the little show of affection. Oh. What a way to put a damper on the occasion. Fair enough, was his aunt. Does he need the flanking either side? Well, she's going to give him one. Is anything on? Is anything on record right now? Is there camera footage to prove this? Well, she's not me on. Well, that will put a wrench in some of his plans and what he knows about the festival and ongoings. And will blow a hole wide open in the Sonosaki family. We just have to go and confirm a few things. That would actually go a little further in confirming things, yes. I think after the what just transpired here, even if the aunt didn't die, that face is understandable. Well, because it wasn't always her. The fact he can just go, oh, twins? Okay, so sometimes you weren't who you say you were. A full life of subterfuge. Yeah, it's fine. Just a one syllable different, really. I mean, you have to make sure the stories match up. If she's taken to the station, has he been relieved of duties? But also, now that the head of the family has gotten hold of her, knows that she, skipped the boarding school that she was at earlier, all the things else that she's done to aggravate the family. Oh no. We've been here before, and it was not a good time. The fact that she's being led down here. Surprise party? Well, apparently what the sins of the father bear down onto the sons, so... If they're... You're the product of superstition about twins. Why do you think she'd be any lighter on what those outside of the family? Maybe she's not wrong about his judgment, about her judgment on him. There are circumstances at play here. She can't break and just say everything on her mind. Yeah, she's not really part of the family at large, considering that she is basically excommunicated as much as possible as what they would like. I don't think that was the best outburst that she could have had there. Take responsibility. This is like some Yakuza form of taking responsibility. Considering it is a family honour and the like. Unfortunately, I don't think the roles and rules of the family really mean too much to one of them, although can she get away from it all? And the fact there are... Huh? And won't proceed any further. Okay. The more she... Well, she has no power in this situation. But also the fact that as the head of the Sonosaka family, she is taking the role pretty damn well. Considering where we are... She's getting off lightly. Just a fingernail or two. So what is how guilty she actually feels? Oh, you decide for her. Does she get to choose which three? What if she does 4? Goes a bit above and beyond to show how much she's repenting. I mean, she's not saying no, she just wants to have a bit of confirmation. The good thing is, I don't know if it's good, I have no nails for it to latch onto right here. But self-inflicted bits like this... I mean, the idea of it is horrid, but there have been times where I've pulled up a nail accidentally. It hurts. If this is all it takes to get repentance... Really? That's all you've got? Just the one? I don't understand the... If you half-arse it, that's even worse. Breaking character a little. Is that a... Are they forcing it? If she can't do it herself, it'll be done for her. Will they allow her to get off that easily, though? Wasn't the punishment meant to be for her to take responsibility? Well, that's good. And even if they were forgiven, we know what happens to Satoshi, being that he vanishes later on. Oh. Well, just go in and confirm. Do you remember I was here the other day? And also, is the... Huh? Is the... what is his face? He's part grasshopper. Well, that and the fact he can see that your fingers are bandaged. But is the idea that the twins and that knowledge out in the open now for anyone to find out about? That cat can't be put back in the bag. They didn't keep tabs on where he went after leaving the station? She could have gotten away with 2 fingers. Huh. Yeah, she would be feeling a little numb considering the events of recent days. Abnormal. So you what? Someone just following in the footsteps of what the curse is? So what we saw in the dead of night with Satoshi holding the bat wasn't how it played out? Are we getting gaslit into believing things that have occurred as how we're being told about it? At least a fingernail or 2 will grow back. It's not like losing a finger. But I'm wondering if the helper man and the uncle... It wasn't actually an uncle, but Poshnell, whatever his name was actually in that back room, or it was just a bluff. Knowing the Sonozaki family, it could go either way, really. Now, we know that the Sonozaki family kind of demon side that was shown off in a previous run is an aspect outside of the curse. But as interplay, and now that we got this, a suspect in the killing of the aunt was found. But what? Did they make a false arrest? Or is it the will of whoever decides what's happening? And does it matter who it was? What colourful words. The fragrance of memory. In the back of my mind, there was a thought of, if Shion can just walk around so brazenly and tell Keiichi about, I'm not actually Mion. Ta-da! I'm out working in this cafe and whatnot. Something must have happened to allow her to be a little more in the open about her existence, compared to what we've seen here, where she was very much kept under wraps. Her going to the police and admitting, I exist. Yeah, that might do it. They can't exactly continue to hide her away then. And after everything that she undone, the fact that Satoshi can just up and vanish, go missing straight after, where exactly did he manage to just sneak off to? Was it a case of just an unconnected, coincidental accident and he just was never found? Or managed to escape the clutches of the village even after we were told the curse comes after you if you try to leave? And how much of a connection is there with people who actually believe in the curse and those affected by it? If my line of thought there actually has any merit. Don't know where I'm heading with it. But as we already know that the line of events later on in the storyline, where we have Keiichi and whatnot involved, there was only a certain way that things could play out. How we got to that, though, was open-ended. Seeing it this way, where she sacrificed her well-being of at least one of her hands to request salvation from what she had done, with Mion playing the part of the head of the family quite well. Well, that is the point. Was it actually Shion that took her fingernails off? They didn't swap places again. But anyway, Mion playing the part of the head of the family, or proposed head of the family, quite well, until she broke character because of what she was enforcing on her sister, after they were so close as well, talking nearly every day. At least when it's not about family matters. There are several things I wonder about. One of which being just, if Rika does know about what transpires, what has been preordained, why did she think, will you be able to smile after this? I mean, granted, we do see Sadako a bit more happy and upbeat without the aunt around. Apart from in that one little storyline with the uncle involved. But I think, there's chance for improvement with only half of the weight being pressed down on her. Well, apart from Satoshi going vanishing. But does Rika actually have an idea of all events that happen? Or just the main ones of the people who end up... I can't really I'm not sure what the term is. It omniscience? No. Of what's going on. If it was anyone else with this knowledge that wasn't in the body of like a 7-year-old or however old she's meant to be, maybe they can actually do something with it, interact with how things are playing out. Or maybe because she is a cog in the wheel of the machine, nothing she can do per se. That's why she reached out to the dude who was seemingly outside of it all. But yeah, all it was a single sentence in the festival which put me onto the thought path of Rika again. And is it only her that has this knowledge? Are there other characters who also know a bit about what may have happened or what may happen in the future? I still want to know what happens with... cannot remember her name. The one who gets a little tanned. Extra crispy. Immolated. we have those characters, like the photographer dude who's claws at his throat in certain... Was it all eventualities? Don't know if it's only certain ones or all of them. Either way, what's going on with that side of it? And I know we're not done yet with the pre-story involving Shion and the family. Unless the little hair drag back into the re-education chamber underneath the family home was just a misdirection. Was the family head around in the present day section of the story? I'm not sure. All I know is there is so many thoughts swirling in my head and I don't know which threads to chase and which to drop. I do know that I'm interested in seeing more. A lot more. Things may start to slowly come together, but I don't know how or when. Am I going to have a bit of an understanding at all by the end of this season? Or am I going to have to wait until future ones? This does seem like a series that I am going to have to go back and rewatch after I've learned all the grand reveals and everything and see what's up. Oh yeah, that was so plainly obvious in episode 2. But there's so many to actually watch through to get to that point. One thing to top it off, even if Soshi has forgiven her for what she did in class, and was actually apologetic about his actions, I think 3 fingernails for what she did to an already suffering Satoko there, that's a fair trade in of itself. So, with the thought of slight body mutilation and offerings of repentance out of the way, we can think about the future. But that means if you enjoyed this episode, you should let me know. If there's lots and lots and lots that I missed out on, well, if it comes back around, don't tell me about it, but if not, leave a comment down below. If you enjoyed, maybe even a like as well. There's plenty more to catch up on. Higurashi's not going anywhere, so consider subscribing and you won't miss out the future uploads. And for now, though, I need to think about a few things. Take it easy. Sit down and realise just how well I have things in my life, not having some family name hovering over my head. Get some rest. I'll see you in the next one. Forget having to use fingernails as payment. My channel is enough to show anyone just how much I truly repent all of my actions. There really is nothing more severe than the eternal condemnation of having something on the internet forever. So I guess I do need to thank Noku, Sao, Guado, Kite, Raywin, Shiwan, Tori Jane and everyone else for standing by me for this long. And if you would like to be let out of the back room, consider joining onto my Patreon as well.